Hey everybody, it's Jamie from No Getting Off This Train. In today's video, I am showing you all the ingredients you need to keep in your house in order to make healthy homemade snacks. So, making your own snacks can be a whole lot cheaper than buying them from the store. They definitely have a lot fewer ingredients. It does take a little more energy to plan it out and to make them, but it can be so worth it, especially if you're trying to save money. And even though I like to buy the snack bars at the store, especially for like traveling, I do try to make mine at home, especially when I have the energy to do so. And today I'm going to be sharing all the ingredients that I try to keep on hand at all times when I make these snacks. And I will have a free cheat sheet that you can download in the description below. First off, let's talk about the mighty trifecta of ingredients. So oats, honey, and peanut butter. I have all three of these in my house at all times because I feel like every time I make snacks, those are the three items I use every single time. Oats are a powerhouse of nutrition. They are high in fiber. A lot of us don't get enough fiber, and so oats are a really good way to get that in. Oats are really good for heart health. It's been shown to help lower cholesterol. It's just an all-around good food to eat. I try to eat oats every single day. Now, I tend to buy the rolled oats just because I feel like the consistency is better. The instant oats are okay in a pinch, but the instant oats tend to get a little mushy, and I would really rather have like the chewier consistency of the rolled oats. And I have found that it is a lot cheaper to buy them at Costco. You can get like a big 10-pound bag of oats for like $10, depending on where you live. And I mean, it does take me a little bit to go through those oats, but if I'm in the mood to make something or make a few things out of oats, that'll thing will maybe last me 2 weeks. Next up is the peanut butter. So peanut butter is high in healthy fats, has a little bit of protein in it as well. Now, the type that you buy, it just depends on your budget and it's what you think will work for your family, because there are many different brands and each one has its own set of ingredients. I try to buy just like all natural peanut butter, so the kind that has just peanuts and maybe even salt as ingredients. What I found though was I was buying peanut butter almost every single week because I was using up a whole jar. So the peanut butter I found at Sam's Club, the Members Mark brand, their ingredients are peanuts and then salt, and then they have some sugar in it as well. Now honestly, a little bit of sugar is totally fine with me. If that bothers you, then you can definitely go find natural peanut butter. They might have some at Sam's, but otherwise you might have to look elsewhere. But I do like the kind from Sam's Club because I can get 2 really big packages for really cheap. Now if you have a peanut allergy, you can definitely substitute it for any other kind of either nut or seed butter, just depending on what your allergies or needs are. Next up is honey. I like honey because it helps everything kind of stick together. Now, I will say, honey is not necessarily healthier than regular sugar. So honey does have some extra vitamins and stuff in there, but really if you're only eating like a little bit, it's not gonna make a huge difference. But if you're making something like energy bites, you really need honey instead of like sugar or brown sugar, because you need that liquid in order to bind the things together. And if you're not a fan of honey, maple syrup will work as well. Some maple syrup is a lot runnier than honey, so you may have to like adjust the ingredients and go from there. But honestly, that is my big trifecta of ingredients. My energy bites, I always use all 3 of those in combination. When I make protein bars, I use those as well. They're just really good all around. Next up, some of the snack ingredients that I use are chia seeds and flaxseed. Now, both of those are high in omega-3 fats, which a lot of us don't get a whole lot of either. Those kind of fats are also good at helping to lower cholesterol. So if you don't get a lot of unsaturated fats in your diet, then this is the way to go. They really don't have a taste. So you can add them into a lot of the things that you eat and you won't even realize they're there. So the chia seeds, they do have kind of a tapioca consistency if you put it in liquid and kind of eat it like that. So when I put it in my overnight oats, the chia seeds like soak up the liquid, and then they do have that like tapioca consistency. And if you put them in like energy bites without cooking them or anything, they do kind of have like not really a big crunchy texture, but but it's enough to make it interesting. Now, flaxseed, I usually get the ground flaxseed. You can get it whole as well, but I prefer it to be ground. I add this in a lot of my stuff. I add it in like my pancakes and waffles, definitely my muffins, and even my smoothies. Both of them have healthy fats and fiber in them. So if you're looking to add a little bit extra to your snacks, definitely pick up some of these. And they're actually really easy to find. If you have an Aldi nearby, you can find them at Aldi. I get mine at Walmart usually as well, so they're pretty widely available. Protein powder is another option. Now, I consider this one optional just because I don't use protein powder a lot in my baking, but if I'm making like protein bars, then I will definitely use some of that. Another good thing about protein powder is that a lot of times they have like added vitamins and minerals, so you can usually pack in some good extra nutrients there. I don't really have a recommendation for like a particular brand of protein powder. Honestly, I just say experiment and see. I've had to experiment myself, and I have found that the whey protein gives me stomach issues, so I lean more toward the plant-based protein. I've done the Vega brand. They're pretty good. I will use Orgain protein powder sometimes as well. Back when I was using the whey protein powder, I would also use the Nature's Bounty brand. That one is pretty cheap and really delicious. You can buy unflavored if you want to, but I typically lean toward, if I'm going to be using it in baking, I will use the vanilla. I don't usually use chocolate in baking, but either one would work pretty well. All right, next up is just like the standard baking ingredients. So flour is one of them. I try to keep all-purpose flour and whole wheat flour on hand, just depending on what it is I want to make. Whole wheat flour has more fiber in it, so if you're looking to increase your fiber intake, you can either use all whole wheat flour in your recipe, or you could use a mixture of all-purpose and whole wheat. And then you've got like your typical baking powder, baking soda, you got salt, you got vanilla. Those are all things that I keep on hand at all times. Another interesting one is fruit. And I'm talking kind of like mashed fruit. So bananas are one of them. Like you can mash a banana and add it to your baked goods, and that sometimes replaces like the oil. I also buy applesauce. I'll buy like a big container and I'll use it like in my muffins and pancakes and things. Also, I usually keep canned pumpkin on hand. Pumpkin is really good. It has a lot of different vitamins in it. And then I will use it in my energy bites as well to make like pumpkin energy bites. They're so good. And what is good about like the mashed fruit is, like I said, you can replace it replace the olive oil or whatever oil you're using in it, and that can help reduce calories if you're looking to do that sort of thing. So with all those ingredients, what can you make with all of them? So some of my favorite things to make with all those ingredients, energy bites are a big one. And what I love about energy bites is that you can use so many different ingredients in them. So like I said, I use my trifecta of the oats, peanut butter, and honey, but then I'll add like chia seeds, I'll add chocolate chips, depending on what style or what kind I'm making. Like I'll add pumpkin, I'll add cinnamon, I'll add basically whatever. Protein bars are another good one that I make. You just add like peanut butter and honey to a pot and heat it up, and then you add all the other ingredients in it. You press it flat into a pan, you refrigerate it to let it harden, and then there's protein bars. I also love making muffins. You can make many different kinds, and the good news is all of these are also freezer friendly. So if you have a lot of energy one day, make a big batch of something and then freeze most of it. And that way on your low energy days, all you gotta do is pull one out of the freezer and let it thaw. If you're looking for more ideas, I do have a snack recipe guide in my shop. It has 20 different recipes, as well as a huge grocery list with all of the ingredients, plus a link to a pre-shopped grocery cart from Walmart, so you can click it, add everything to your cart, and buy it from there. If you're feeling ambitious, you can do that. Otherwise, it's got all 20 recipes on there of all my tried and true favorites. Leave me a comment and tell me, what is one of your favorite homemade snacks to make for you and your family? As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later.